scientists are building a star inside a metal donut. It runs at 150 million degrees Celsius, and the machine holding it cannot touch it even once. For decades, fusion promised unlimited clean energy. Split an atom and you get fission. Fuse two atoms together and you release 4 times the energy with 0 carbon and almost no radioactive waste. The fuel is hydrogen pulled from seawater. There is enough to power civilization for 30 million years. The problem was never the physics. It was always the engineering. The core machine is called a Tokamak. At Commonwealth Fusion Systems in Massachusetts, their SPARC Tokamak will generate 140 million amps of magnetic force. That is stronger than any superconducting magnet ever built. The plasma inside reaches 10 times the temperature of the sun's core. At that temperature, electrons rip away from atoms entirely. You no longer have gas. You have a fourth state of matter, and it wants to destroy everything around it. Here is where your brain breaks. The magnets keeping that plasma contained must operate at -253 degrees Celsius. That is colder than deep space. So inside one machine, you have the hottest thing in the solar system surrounded by the coldest engineered environment on Earth. The temperature difference between the plasma and the magnet coil is roughly 150 million degrees across a gap smaller than your arm. The magnets make this possible through a material called REBCO. It stands for rare earth barium copper oxide. At near absolute zero, REBCO becomes a high-temperature superconductor. Electricity flows through it with zero resistance. Zero. That means you can generate magnetic fields of 20 Tesla without any energy loss in the coil itself. Those fields are so powerful they compress and shape the plasma like invisible hands, keeping it 1 centimeter from the wall without ever making contact. Nobody talks about what happens to that wall. The plasma exhaust, called the divertor, must absorb heat flux of 100 megawatts per square meter. For reference, the surface of the sun radiates about 60 megawatts per square meter. Engineers are running tungsten tiles cooled by pressurized water moving faster than a fighter jet just to keep the machine from melting itself. One material failure ends the experiment instantly. The entire viability of commercial fusion rests on a component most people have never heard of. This matters to you because energy controls everything. Your food, your medicine, your internet, your climate. Right now, 80% of global energy still comes from burning things. Fusion changes that equation permanently. A single glass of seawater contains enough hydrogen isotopes to match the energy in 300 liters of gasoline. That is not a metaphor. That is the actual math. SPARC is scheduled for first plasma in 2025 and net energy output by 2027. Commercial plants could be online by 2035. Here is the part that reframes everything. The fuel powering this entire revolution has already been sitting in your kitchen tap this whole time.